Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today I'm going to tell a story from Norway, and it's called Squire Per, and it's about repaying kindness. And it goes like this. Once upon a time there was a very poor couple. They had very little money. And they had 3 sons. I don't know what the first 2 were called, but the third was called Bear. And when they died, they didn't have much in terms of inheritance. They had a pot, a griddle, which is like a plate you make oatcakes, and a cat. And so the first son got the first choice. He chose the pot, and the one chose the griddle. And Bear said, "Oh, well, I will take the cat because I cannot bear to let that cat just be here and die, at the old house." So the 3 sons went out into the world, into the wide world, to find their fortune. And Per took the cat with him. And after they had traveled a little bit, the cat started to talk. And the cat said, "Your kindness to me will be repaid." And the cat said, she said, "You have to now do exactly what I tell you. I'm going to find some animals, some strange animals in the forest, and you have to bring them to the manor, the king's manor over there. And when he asks you, who gives those to you? Then you say, they are from Squire Per." I said, okay, I can remember that. So the first animal that the cat brought was a reindeer. And the cat sat on the reindeer, and he says, "If you don't do what I say, I'll scratch your eyes out." So the reindeer thought, okay. And Per went with the reindeer into the kitchen of the king's manor and asked the king to come down and to look at a little gift. And so the king came and really liked this reindeer, and he said, "So who is kind enough to give me that reindeer?" And he says, "Oh, that's Squire Per." And the king said, because he thought he should know a fine gentleman who offers him a reindeer like that, and he should know where he lives. And he says, "Where does he live?" And Per said, "No, I can't tell you that. Otherwise, I've promised not to tell him." This happened 2 more times. Second time, the king was offered a stag, which is sort of a male deer. And the third time, he was offered an elk, the king of the reindeer, a big, beautiful elk. And every time the king says, "Well, who gave this to me?" And he said, "Squire Per." So the third time that this happened, the king really said, well, you have to take me to where he lives. And Per said, "No, I can't tell you where he lives." "Well, can he then come and visit me?" "Well, that could be done," Per said. So he went outside and said to the cat, "Cat, you really got me into trouble now. I have to, you look at my clothes. I'm like, I just wear rags. I cannot go and, see the king like that." And Cat said, "Don't worry. In 3 days, all of this will be sorted out." 3 days later, a carriage came, and in it were fine clothes that Per could wear. And so he went to see the king, all dressed up nice. "I'm Squire Per." And the king, and he looked at his house, and the cat had told him, "The king will show you his house." And you say, "Yeah, that's nice, but actually my house is much finer and nicer." You have to keep saying that. So Per did that. And every time the king showed him something in the rooms or whatever, the paintings or whatever, and then he would say, "That's nice, but my house, it's actually much nicer." The king didn't like that at all, of course. He got very upset and said, "Well, then really I have to go see that house. And if it's finer as you say it is or not. If not, then you'll be in trouble." So again, Per went to the cat and said, "God, you got me into a heap of trouble now. I have to show the king my house. And, I don't even have a house." Yeah. And the cat said, "Don't worry, just follow me." So they all went. The cat leaped ahead, Per drove behind it, and then the king and his whole entourage a little bit further. And they met a beautiful flock of sheep on the way, with hair as long as it's almost falling on the ground. And the cat said to the shepherd, if the king asks you who this herd belongs to, you say it's from Squire Per, and I'll give you this silver spoon, which she had taken from the castle of the king. And the shepherd said, okay, sure, I'll do that. So the king came and he says, who is this belong to? And that Squire Per, for sure, said the shepherd. And this happened 2 more times. There were the sheep, there was a flock of a herd of cows, and there was also a herd of horses. And every time the cat had asked the shepherds to say, this belongs to Squire Per. And so finally they came to the castle. And the castle first had a bronze gate, then a silver gate, and then a golden gate. And the castle itself was all made out of silver. But when they went inside, everything was beautifully made of gold, and all the rooms and everything, the tables, the chairs, everything was made of gold. And the king looked all around and he said in the end, yeah, I have to admit, I hate to admit it, but yeah, everything is, Squire Per is right. It's just much finer than in my castle. And then the real owner of that castle, which was a troll, and troll, big animals in Norwegian stories are full of trolls. And it says, who is eating my food and who is visiting my house? And when the cat heard that, he said, and it was just about to be sunrise. He said to the troll, wait, troll, look around you, look behind you. There's a beautiful maiden standing right behind you. So the troll turned around, and the sun at that moment rose up. And when trolls are hit by the sun, they can't live. So the troll basically exploded, and gone was the troll. And then the cat said, now you, to Per, you are the owner of everything here. But you have to do one thing. I've helped you so far, but you have to chop off my neck. And Per said, no, I'm not going to do that. You've helped me so much. Cat insisted. He said, chop off my neck or I scratch your eyes out. So finally, Per chopped off the neck of the cat. And at that very moment, the most loveliest princess came alive. And the princess says, yes, this used to be my castle, my home. But then this troll came and bewitched me, and you have now broken that spell. So from now on, you can decide if you want me as your queen or not. All this land is now yours. Well, sure enough, she was beautiful. She was lovely. And Per fell heads over heels in love with her. And they were married. And they lived happily ever after. Thank you.